Folks, the Toronto market has changed. I'll get into that and then the latest home prices and insights for the city of Toronto for week ending April 24th, 2024. This past week, on 3 occasions, representing the buyers, we put in offers on properties that had an offer night schedule. So we put in the offer on each of those 3 occasions. There were multiple offers, 2 or more offers. There were between 2 and 5 offers on these 3 different situations. These are 3 different buyers, 3 different scenarios, but they all had one thing in common. The seller, although the offers were over their list price, chose not to accept any of the offers and relist at a higher price within 1 or 2 days after the offer night. Now, there was a time not too long ago where that was more rare. It would still happen. The seller's expectations are whatever they are, and the seller would not accept offers. But these days, it's happening more and more. Now, I'm talking about my personal experience as a realtor with these 3 different buyers during this past week. But we also monitor other areas and we look at everything that's going on, and we're seeing it more and more. There was a time, I was about to say, where this was more rare and offer nights were more successful. Those of you that are sellers that are on the fence, and let's just say you've been on the fence and monitoring the market since February, well, just looking in your own neighborhood, you probably didn't see many listings in February, and today you're seeing a lot more properties on the market within the few blocks of where you live. If you're a buyer and you've been on the market looking to buy since February to now, you've seen the market change. These things are not always evident when we do our numbers and we do our charts, but I'm giving you some of my experience from being in the field right now. I guess the big question is why does this happen? Why does the seller prepare their home, go out on the market, feel that the offer night is the best way to capitalize on the sale, and then say, no, I'm not taking any of these offers and we're going to list at the price that we should be getting? Why does that happen? Why does the seller feel that's their number? Well, one reason is seller wants more money. And the reality is the seller could wish for whatever they want, but the list price really is at the end of the day just a wish. It's not necessarily reality until it's sold. So imagine you're on the market, you've priced it low on purpose. It's a loss leader, if you will, type of price. You've got no intentions of accepting any offer at that price, and your whole intention as a seller is to get buyers to compete. And they do. You get 2, 3, 4, 5 offers come in. And you see this, and out of the thousands of buyers that are out there, and out of the thousands of realtors bringing their buyers there that your property has been exposed to, assuming the marketing was done properly, you feel out of all these people that potentially could be seeing your property, 5 have come forward with an offer. And as a seller, you feel, nope, not good enough. Well, you're obviously not thinking, this is what the market is prepared to pay. Let me take the highest number. You're thinking it's not good enough. Why? That's what I keep asking myself. Why does a seller think that after all that effort? Well, one reason is sellers just out of touch and has their own reasons for wanting a certain price. It could be because of what they're going to buy after that. They need more money for their home. It doesn't matter. The public, the buyers don't care about that scenario. These are 2 separate transactions. The selling and the buying, they're 2 separate transactions. Maybe the seller's financial obligations, how much mortgage they have on that property, they need to get more. Still doesn't matter. The buyer is going to pay, assuming whatever the market is. That's what the buyer is going to pay. Maybe, and I see this a lot of times, it's the realtor. The realtor has put the wrong expectations in the seller's mind. How do I know this? Well, I'll use my 3 examples during the course of this week that this happened. On two of those examples, in discussing with the realtor, the listing agent, why I felt our price made sense, I'm trying to get from the realtor kind of where's the seller's expectations at. And I'm speaking to the listing agent. I'm trying to find out what properties are they comparing their home to? What are they using as comparables? And if I can find out and know which properties they're using as comparables, I usually can have a pretty good idea where the seller's mind's at. What do they feel is a decent price for their home? Well, I've got agents comparing to properties sold in February. The market was a little strong in many areas in February and at the beginning of March or in other times of the year. And that's fine, but they're ignoring the properties that have sold within the last 1 and 2 weeks in their neighborhood. They're choosing to ignore those ones and are focused on the other properties that, I guess, play into the seller's narrative better. Well, that's just not how it works. I mean, buyers are looking at the same data, assumingly, that the sellers are looking at. And if everybody's looking at the same data, and we have a logical way of interpreting the data, of comparing one property to another, we should kind of be in the same ballpark price-wise, but we're not. And I find a lot of the listing agents that are doing these offer nights really have put the wrong expectations into the seller's mind. And that the listing agent many times has no choice but to kind of reinforce what they believe the price should be, when on offer night, after thousands of people have seen these properties advertised come up and they don't come up with the price, but they put in an offer, listing agent tends to say, we'll relist it, we'll get the price. Well, it's not always the case. On one of our occasions of the 3 that I spoke about, when the seller said, no, we're not taking any, and relisted, within a few days after, another property in the area sold. And myself and my client, we looked at that and we decided to up our price a little bit from what we offered on offer night. The seller had relisted much higher, and we resubmitted an offer. Well, now we're not competing. We resubmitted, went back and forth a few times with counter offers, and we ended up buying the property conditionally. The agent called me, says, Santo, when I submitted the offer the first time, and said, but you've got a financing and a home inspection condition, but 3 nights ago, on offer night, you had no conditions. And I said, well, 3 nights ago, we were competing. Now it's just us. So yeah, we've got a financing condition. We've got a home inspection condition. Your seller should have taken the offer before, but now we're paying a little bit more, and your seller has coming down from the price they thought they were going to get, and you got conditions. We ended up getting that offer accepted, and now we're going through the whole conditional phase. But these are the expectations that the sellers have in their mind, and many times, yes, the seller's thinking they can get way more. It's their prerogative. But many times, they got the wrong numbers from the realtor that they're talking to, that has the wrong expectations and has put these wrong ideas in their minds. Who you hire matters. Looking at the right data is crucial, especially when you're talking about transactions of hundreds of thousands of dollars like this. If you feel this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. If you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, it's really simple. Up here, there's a link to my calendar. Below this video in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you. We'll talk about whatever's on your mind. And if you get value, again, from what we're talking about here, subscribe. Now, let's get into the numbers. Folks, check out this well-maintained detached home by Caledonian Rogers with a full 2-car garage. Check out the video at the end of this video. Here we go. We're going to start off with, we're talking in this show, freehold market just for the city of Toronto. Got the detached up here, semis in towns. I do have condos for reference. Condo market been trending up a little bit. Semis in towns been trending down over the last few weeks. Detached has been trending up. Let's get into it. This is a freehold market show. We're going to focus on detached semis in towns for the city of Toronto. So broken down by week for ending April 24th, 172 detached properties were sold. Sales for the last couple of weeks been coming down. We peaked at, it seems, 186 2 weeks ago. We're now at 172. So it's down, not by a lot, but it's down a little bit. 44 of those 172 sold at $2 million or more. That's quite a bit, actually. The week before, we're at 54, so we're down by 10. Before that, 46. But if we look at the year so far, 44 is the third highest week as far as property selling at $2 million or more. Average sold price did come down over the previous week. It's now at $1,751,000. Now, I've got an arrow pointing up showing that prices have been trending up. That's what I see. Yes, it's down this 1 week, but depending on how you look at it, I would still say, even if we go back a little bit further and we look at where we are now, prices overall have been trending up. The market is changing, though. It is shifting. Compared to last year, 1,751 is 5% lower than where we were this week a year ago. The median price is 11% lower year over year. Average sold price, when we look at it from using the dotted line as a guide, the dotted line, that's a 4-week moving average. Average prices still look like they've been trending up. Median prices, however, up and down, and they kind of look a little bit more flat. It doesn't look like median price has been trending upwards. 172 were sold, 55% sold at list price or more. So it's still somewhat competitive when more than half are selling at list price or more. That percentage is down slightly from where we were over the last few weeks when we were at 65 and 68% selling at list price or more. Here's the big story though, listings. 379 were listed. Active listings, there's 1,406 detached properties available for sale in the city of Toronto. I'm going to go back. 172 were sold, but there was 1,406 available for sale. To put that into perspective, this time a year ago, there was 924 active listings. Over the course of the year, we're up in available properties for sale. Sitting on the market, we're up 52%. That's the detached market. It's one of the most active, one of the most competitive markets out there, the detached market. And we're up 52%. There's other markets, which I'll get into over the next few shows in the next few days. They are up over 100% in available properties for sale. But City of Toronto detached, up 52% year over year in amount of properties sitting available for sale. Months of inventory stayed the same at 1.8 months of inventory. If you think about it, kind of makes sense, right? About half, 55% selling at list price or more, somewhat competitive. There's more choices out there. Months of inventory at 1.8 is kind of the halfway mark of what a seller's market is. We're saying a seller's market is 0 to 3 months of inventory. 1.8 is about half. It kind of makes sense. What's not really making sense is the fact that prices, well, it kind of is actually. We're still in somewhat of a seller's market. Prices are trending up slowly. I retract what I was saying. It is making sense that prices are trending upwards. We don't know how long that is going to last. However, if the amount of properties available for sale continue to increase, and if sales continue to decrease, we're going to have a ton of properties sitting out there. And properties sitting out there don't help with prices going up. They tend to bring prices down. Here's Toronto broken down into 9 different sections. Now, all Toronto, 1.8 months of inventory, sold at list price or more, 55%. But some of these areas are outperforming all of Toronto. Scarborough, for example, 1.6 months of inventory, 3/4 almost, 73% are selling at list price or more. So Scarborough still, excuse me, extremely competitive. East York Riverdale, 0.9 months of inventory, 74% selling at list price or more. High Park, 1.5 months of inventory, 73% selling at list price or more. York Mills, Rosedale, 2.3 months of inventory, so higher than all of Toronto, 19% selling at list price or more. So that has taken a big drop in percentages at list price or more. But the average sold price is over 3.4 million. So, you could see where some of the neighborhoods where prices are sometimes a little bit lower, that's where it's way more competitive a lot of times. But that's all the city of Toronto. Let's take a look at semis. 56 semi-detached properties were sold. 11 of those were at $1.5 million or more. Prices, semis for a while was trending upwards, but it's going the other way now. For the last couple of months, average sold price for semis trending down. We're now at $1,254,000 for the average semi-detached sold in the city of Toronto for week ending April 24th. 1,254. 1,254 is 10% lower than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 8% lower. The dotted line for average and median, I said it looks like if I go back, average price is trending down. The dotted line kind of shows that it's a little bit flat. I'm looking at a little bit more, a longer time span. But depending on which way you look at it, it's either trending down or staying flat. Months of inventory, staying steady at 1.2 months of inventory. 68% of the sold at list price or more. Townhouses, these are freehold townhouses. So across all the city of Toronto, 18, that's it, only 18 freehold townhouses were sold. 3 of those were at $1.5 million or more. Average sold price is $1,190,000. 1,190 is 18% lower year over year. The median price is 12% lower year over year. Months of inventory, steady at 1.2 months of inventory. So months of inventory, here's a quick summary. Really, between detached semis and towns, didn't change week over week. It's a bit unusual, I got to say, because sometimes 1 or 2 stay the same and the other one moves. All 3 property types stayed the same. All 3 sitting in a seller's market. But what also happened to all 3 is the amount of properties available for sale in each of these categories has increased. And we'll see how that plays out over the next few weeks. It's slowing down. We can feel it out there. Things are changing. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day. You're about to walk through 278 McRoberts Avenue. This fully detached home is located in a great neighborhood by Caledonia and Rogers. It's 3 bedrooms and has a detached 2-car garage. Have a look.